And we are now live. Hello, everyone. Lukan and Bob, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, feel free. And we are now live. Hello, everyone.
I'm getting an echo here.
Hold on. Are you hearing an echo?
I'm hearing it play like after the fact.
There we go. Okay.
That's better.
I think I fixed it.
Echo here.
Oh, there. Oh, jeez.
I like mine just says Bob. It's like Bob / BkPhotoPage like Lukan's does.
There we go. Okay.
That's
I think I
better.
fixed it.
There. Oh, jeez.
Oh my god. Okay.
Who's Bob / BkPhotoPage?
Still getting the echo.
Hold up.
What is happening? This is already a disaster.
Okay. Who's
Still getting the echo.
What is happening?
I think it's on Lukan's.
Already a disaster.
Okay.
Still getting the echo.
What is
I
happening?
think it's on Lukan's.
Already a disaster.
Still getting the echo.
Oh man.
We are losing viewers at a rapid pace.
Okay. I
Oh.
think it's fixed. Is it?
Yeah, I think we're good now.
All right, now we're good. So
Holy
now we'll really start the stream. Lukan, if you want to introduce yourself, feel free.
Yeah, I'm Lukan from WNY Coasters, and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. I'm sure Colin's got everything linked up if you want to go check me out if you already haven't. And I guess that's all you guys need to know.
Bob.
Oh wait, you got rid of Lukan's thing on his name now too, so I don't feel bad. Yeah, I think everybody knows who I am, but I'm Bob from BkPhotoPage. I take lots of pictures of coasters and make fun of Colin.
Yep, there's always that. So, if you guys didn't see the pinned comment in the chat, basically we're just going to be doing a Q&A. So if you have any questions for any of us, feel free to put them in the chat, and I will pull them up, and we'll give our answers to them.
Brian's throwing a million photography questions out, and I am stumped right now on some of them.
So let's bring up the first question from Mason. What is your favorite scare maze you have done? That's a good question.
I don't go to Halloween events very often. I only remember the one that I was like dancing through with you guys last year when I was at Great Adventure.
If I had to pick one, it's probably something from Dorney Park's haunt, maybe Blood on the Bayou. I don't really remember the individual mazes, but I'm sure once I get back there later this fall season, I'll have a definite answer for that.
Yeah, I think I've done 4 haunt mazes in total. My favorite one's gotta be, and I don't even know the name of it. The one at Darien Lake that's like way off in the pavilions and stuff. That's like kind of like just by itself, not even near anything in the park. That was a pretty good one. But I have no idea what the name is.
Bob, anything?
I don't do Halloween events very often, so I went through like one maze at Kings Island and then the couple with you guys last year at Great Adventure, and that was it. I hate crowds. I don't mind Halloween, so I just hate crowds. So I don't go to the park until like Sunday during the Halloween events, and then like nothing's like going on Sunday usually.
Makes sense. Favorite park to photograph in?
I saw this.
This is definitely one directed at Bob.
Yeah, this is hard. Fiesta, Texas is very wide open. That one's pretty easy to photograph in. Universal wasn't bad. I mean, certain parts of it. Wow, that is such a hard question. Maybe like maybe Busch Gardens Tampa. Maybe. I mean, it's pretty wide open for most of their coasters, so you can really get around stuff. Lukan's home park's Darien Lake. Darien Lake's easy to photograph in too because you can walk around like everywhere pretty much.
Not anymore.
Well, I just hate Darien Lake in general, so it's not my favorite park to photograph in. But
yeah.
Yeah.
The way they changed up like the layout and security and stuff, and now it's really dumb.
Yeah, not surprised. Day Six Flags. Yeah. I mean, I probably say Busch Gardens Tampa because it's just easy, and then Six Flags Fiesta Texas.
If I had to pick one I like to videograph in the most, I mean, Great Adventure I like doing a lot, especially during Riding of the Bull or Drillathon. Those tours are always incredible, and getting right next to Nitro and Jersey Devil, and in past years, Con, Bizarro, it's insane. I really enjoyed videographing Velocicoaster, though. That was so much fun.
Yeah, I like photographing it, too, even though it's weird angles and things.
Mm-hmm. Favorite ride to photograph? Bob?
I hate this ride, but it's Valraven. It's so much fun to photograph. You can get every angle on Earth on it. Gatekeeper's kind of the same way. I don't necessarily hate Gatekeeper. I just find it boring, but there's so many angles of it. It's amazing.
I don't think I have a ride that I specifically love to videograph, so I don't think I can really answer the question. Park that is hardest to get camera gear in. Oh, I know the answer to this one.
Now it's probably Six Flags Over Georgia.
In the past, it was probably Great Adventure.
Yeah, it was Great
Adventure. But they changed a lot of their policies, thankfully, which is really good.
Yeah, it used to be Great Adventure, and like Six Flags America, I guess, was a pain. I didn't take my camera in there when I was there, but now I guess, I mean, Great Adventure let me bring mine in, and then Six Flags America apparently lets everybody. But Over Georgia, I guess, Over Georgia is doing the like Great Adventure BS from a few years ago, where their policies are super inconsistent, and like one person gets something in, and the next person can't, and like it's Six Flags is like. A disaster.
Six Flags has really eased up on a lot of their security stuff, at least for most of the parks. Like the whole COVID thing, like they totally changed like the metal. Like I know at Great Adventure you just got to go through like TSA and stuff, which is just insane. Mm-hmm. Now you just walk through that the giant wide open metal detectors, and unless you have like a bombshell in your bag, I think you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's so much more convenient. Like. Especially going to Great Adventure 25 times a year in the past and having to go through that every time and empty my pockets and put everything over there. And now I can just breeze right through unless I have my brick.
I lucked out in 2017 when I was at Great Adventure because even though they had those like strict camera policies, I was at New England the day before and I got up to the gate and the like big giant like security guard who looked like Tyler Perry as Medea started harassing me. And I just was like, I brought this stuff in like New England yesterday. Like, this is bullshit. And then, bull crap. And she finally, after like 5 minutes arguing with her, she let me bring it in. And it was ridiculous.
Mm. Another question for Bob.
Probably something I'm guessing.
Well, any of the like bobsled coasters are like impossible because of the shape of the track. Inverts are a pain only because inverts are a pain if you're trying to like photograph somebody that's not in the front row. If you're just trying to photograph the invert itself, it's fine. Wow, it's got to be something that's like built on the boundary of a park where you can't get any angles of it. That's tough. I know Twister at Knoebels is like there's like one angle when it comes back. Like that's the only place you can get. I don't know. That's tough, but like I said, the bobsled coasters are ridiculous. I guess Hagrid's is one.
Yeah. There's only one spot you can see it from.
The queue.
Yeah, that's it. That and like the one little opening in the exit. That's it.
All the cool parts are you can't see.
Yeah. If I had to pick one that's like hard to videograph, it's anything deep in the woods. So obviously the Beast, Diamondback's a little difficult when it's further back there. Anything in the woods.
I should have said the Beast was the hardest to photograph because there's literally no angles of it. Even like from above, you can barely, like on the Eiffel Tower, you can't barely take anything.
Yeah.
You go on like the walk back tour, and even then there's like 2 angles.
Yeah, that queue line, what's it? The One River Rapids ride. You can get some really good angles of Diamondback there.
Yeah. And
you can see Mystic Timbers too. You get really close to Mystic Timbers.
Yeah.
Another question for Bob, it looks like. Favorite time of day to photograph?
I love sunset pictures, but like shooting like I don't know, like in the like early morning before the sun gets too high overhead and like wrecks things. The problem with that too, though, is sometimes you face like cloudiness in the morning from the haze and stuff too. So I'd rather shoot in the morning than the middle of the day. But I mean, obviously, sunset pictures are great if the sun sets behind where you want to take the picture, which tends to not happen very often unless you're shooting wildfire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was incredible to take pictures and videos of. I still can't believe how nice that was. I definitely think the best time to take videos is on like a nice blue sky day, but the sun has to be behind a cloud, otherwise the glare totally ruins every shot.
Yeah, you need the blue sky days. You need some clouds for like the contrast because like shooting Gatekeeper against the blue sky or lightning run against the blue sky is like, all right.
It always looks really cool when you have like a million clouds in the sky and then like the blue behind it. That always looks great.
Yeah.
Will Bob go on another trip with Colin, Phil, and Chris?
Well, I didn't murder Colin in Florida, even though I wanted to a few times. So I'm going to say this is probably going to be a yes at some point. We haven't really talked about anything yet, but we're talking about, eventually going to Europe or something or whatever in the, a few years down the line. But I'll definitely probably do so. We have a bunch of stuff we missed in Jersey that I'll have to get back to at some point when I go out there. And we'll probably end up going up to New England together or something, like to those small parks and stuff at some point, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that goes with Bob not telling Colin any future meetings.
I mean, that's true. That could end it. I
mean,
if
that happens, then I guess it's off the table. I'm assuming.
Chris didn't kill him either.
Yeah, that was shocking.
I at least try to teach Colin life lessons when he pisses me off. Chris just wants to strangle him. So.
A father-like figure for Colin.
What's your favorite moment on Jersey Devil?
I love that stall. It's so good.
Lukan?
The stall is really good. The 0G roll is actually really fun. I personally think that. The first drop in the back row might be the strongest airtime moment on the ride, but that Camelback's good. I'll probably go with this stall as well.
So, obviously, I ride this ride a lot. And through my front row night rides, I've actually come across an element that shocks me more than anything. And that's the dive loop. The whip and airtime you get in the front row when you're going through that dive loop just shock me every time. But if we're talking other elements, back row, drop, and of course the stall is really good too. Favorite element on a coaster? That's a good question.
Mosasaurus roll.
I'd say so. I'd say, yeah, definitely that.
I think it's the thing about it is like you don't expect it to be as intense as it is, but you like whip through there and you like feel like your head's gonna go bounce off the water. It's insane.
It doesn't make sense how your body is totally pulled out of the seat while you're going through. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't get it. It's crazy.
Yeah, for me, it's gotta be out of the second hill on Steel Vengeance, that outer banking one. That one's really good, and
I love the other outer banking hill on Steel Vengeance where you dive back into the structure in the back half.
Yeah.
Version. That awesome element too.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I really I think El Toro's Camelbacks are probably.
Oh yeah, they're incredible.
Yeah,
and that actually leads really well into the next question, which is favorite airtime hill on a coaster. I know I definitely think it's anything on Toro. I don't think anything else beats what Toro's elements do.
Yeah, the hill after the first hill after the drop on Storm Chaser. It tries to throw you to the airport.
That's true.
I love that. It literally tries to launch you out of your seat.
Yeah, the Toro Camelbacks. I think the strongest airtime on Toro has got to be the Rolling Thunder Hill, but it's not. If you're not prepared for it, it's definitely going to be uncomfortable. But I think that's just straight sustained 2, 3, 4 seconds of eject airtime on those Camelbacks are just superior to anything else.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love that your dad answers the questions in the chat instead of just agreeing to join the stream.
Of course. What park would you say has the best / widest variety of food? That's tough.
Dollywood has great food, but I think it's very overrated. Because the selection's not very wide. When they do the Festival of Nations, they have a lot of stuff because they do all the different countries and things that they have there. But otherwise, I mean, it's very limited on the typical park fare, just done better, I guess. We didn't really eat much at Silver Dollar City.
No.
Universal wasn't.
Nah, Universal's food sucks.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
I think the obvious answer is going to be Epcot for World Showcase.
Yeah,
but that's pretty much its whole focus. If we're talking parks that don't focus just on food, I would say Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, for sure.
Mm-hmm. For me,
I mean,
you go ahead.
No, I was just saying I could agree with that. I think.
Oh, okay. Knoebels is definitely up there for me. I think Knoebels just has I don't know. It does the basics so well, and just those some of the waffle ice cream sandwiches they have are really good. They have pretty much all the great desserts. I think. It was really interesting because Disney doesn't really, as a whole, the food's really not that phenomenal. I've heard it used to be just amazing, but I've heard now it's above average for comparing the Six Flags Cedar Fair. But it's really, I don't know. Disney just isn't quite as magical, I guess, per se, anymore.
I definitely agree with that one. Let's see. I'm going to skip Bob's question because we're just not going to talk about that. I like the speed hill in the front on Devil. Yeah, that's a pretty fun element. I mean, I definitely think I think he's talking about the little bunny hop before the rise up into the brakes.
Oh, okay.
The off-axis hill.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely the strongest airtime in the second half, unless you're counting the back row drop off the mid course.
I was kind of disappointed by those off-axis hills because they could have really like thrown you sideways, and they really don't give you much.
You need to come back and ride it now that it's trimless and has the new wheels. Because when you're in the front row, you actually get like some really, really good flagector airtime over them.
Okay.
It's weird, but you do. Let's see. Yeah, that's definitely the highlight of Velocicoaster, if you ask me.
I can't wait either.
It's unbelievable.
And we haven't done this stream yet where we're going to talk about it, but like the thing about Velocicoaster that's amazing to me is the front half is like this like crazy twister layout on itself, and the back half's like this out and back like nuts after the launch like layout. It's like two coasters in one that like never stops. It's unreal.
Definitely agree with that. I'm guessing that's him saying that's his favorite airtime moment.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, statistically, isn't it the strongest, or at least one of the strongest? I'm pretty sure it's like negative 2.3 last I heard, unless that's wrong.
I mean, it was for sure the strongest for a long time. I don't know if it still is, but I mean, it's still ridiculous.
Yeah, that hill is just so amazing.
The off-axis hill in the structure on Steel Vengeance is my favorite single airtime moment on the ride.
It's so unexpected. It's amazing.
So people rave about this element a lot. Personally, I mean, it just kind of blends in with all the other airtime. That's not to say Steel Vengeance isn't amazing, because it's my number one. But, I don't know, I've always found, like, the smaller hills, especially that, like, wave turn right before the final inversion, to be, like, more unique and better. But that hill's definitely pretty good.
Yeah, those, like, off-axis airtime hills, they just slip those in there. You don't even notice them because there's so much going on the ride, and you just, like, and they give a good 2-3 seconds to sustain airtime. It's so crazy how those tiny little elements pack in so much.
What is your favorite roller coaster, and why is it Steel Vengeance? So you obviously know my favorite coaster, Steel Vengeance. The airtime. I mean, it has so much airtime, and airtime is my favorite part of a coaster, and just the amount of airtime it has still blows me away. And I actually got some incredible re-rides on it this year, and wow, especially when you get a trimless ride on it, back row or front row, it's unbelievable. Bob, why don't you explain why Velocicoaster is your number one?
Yeah, I've been waiting a long time to see if something could beat Steel Vengeance, and like I don't get me wrong, I love Steel Vengeance. I think that it does everything you want a coaster to do in some regard, and it's so long, and there's no dull moments at all. Like everything hits you like at once, and it's just and night rides on it are an entirely different beast. Especially when it's running completely trimless, which it does most of the time anyway. But like once it's warmed up, it's like on a hot night. Holy crap!
Yeah, well, I haven't ridden Velocicoaster yet, so I can't make that decision. But Steel Vengeance is still my number one coaster, mainly for what Colin said. The airtime is just relentless. I wouldn't say it's not even like I want to say like it's repetitive, but it's like I don't know. They're just like it just feel like the scale of some like the bigger elements in the first half and small like. It just has such a good mixture of elements, and it creates like such a long ride, and that just puts it over the top for me. I think like things like El Toro and Sky Rush are like short but extremely sweet. Like what they pack in might be better than some of the elements on Steel Vengeance, but overall, I think Steel Vengeance just outlasts them.
I definitely agree. The answer to that question is never. No, we'll see. I genuinely can't answer the question. What park has the best layout, as in easy to traverse and location of everything? That's a really good question.
I think the one that popped right in my head is Kings Island. Kings Island has a great layout because of the Eiffel Tower and literally hub and spokes everything. with the exception of if you want to go to the water park, because it's like a 2-mile walk to get back there from inside the park. But other than that, the rest of that park is like perfect hub and spokes type layout.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, I didn't think
I'm trying
about
to think
that.
what other ones like are really easy to traverse. Because like, whoa, that was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
And now you guys are. Oh, there you go. Oh, there we go.
I'm trying to make sure I can get this music to work because it hasn't been working this entire stream.
Yeah. What else? I mean, it's hard because like some of them have really easy layouts to traverse, like because they're small. Like Kennywood's really easy to traverse.
Yeah, yeah,
so
Kennywood's so small for what it has.
I like Cedar Point's layout. It's just a straight line all the way to the back with
like
one split.
Yeah, it's like a figure eight almost.
It's just so hard to maneuver. Like, say
it's very hard to get from the front of the park to the back of the park. Forget about it.
Yeah, if you're at like, I don't know, Raptor, and you want to go to Steel Vengeance, it's like that can be even a 30-minute walk, depending on how foot traffic is.
I remember one night in 2019 when Bob was with us, we booked it from Raptor to Steel Vengeance because we wanted a Raptor night ride and a Steel Vengeance night ride. I don't know why I remember that, but I remember that, and we wound up making it somehow. That was really cool.
And we we didn't run. I don't think we power walked.
Yeah, we were power walking.
It was still 13 or 14 minutes, so it took forever.
Yeah.
Trying to think
that was wild.
Any other like major parks that have really good layout?
I mean, I think Great Adventure's layout is pretty straightforward. I mean, there's just a couple weird things like the fact that you have to cut through the arcade or go down the boardwalk to get to the other side of the park.
I was gonna say like Kentucky Kingdom's like the Kentucky Kingdom's just a big circle, but you have to cross the stupid bridge or like cross the like main street to get to the other part of the park, and that's super annoying.
Just bizarre.
Wow. Over Georgia has a really easy layout. It's just a big circle. But I would say Kings Island is just because there's not a lot of up and down, and it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, you can easily get from like Mystic Timbers and Diamondback all the way to Orion, like really quickly. It's not like some pain walk. It's
Mystic Timbers to Banshee's like 5 to 7 minutes tops.
I think what makes Kings Island so good is like it feels big, but it also at the same time feels like you're not too far away from anything.
I think it's because all their coasters are built like on the boundary, so they go out outside of the walking areas of the park. So so all your entrances are like on the inside, so it makes it seem like it's a lot smaller.
Yeah,
at least for walking.
I'm gonna skip Bob's other question and go right to Joey's question. It's not really a question. I'm hosting a hashtag Be Brave challenge on Wonder Woman Lasso of Truth soon. Kinda nervous for this. Well, as Jack said it best, good luck, Joey. I don't know if you've ridden Wonder Woman. I'm going to guess that you haven't, but good luck. It's a very fun ride. The Airtime of Little Devils can be pretty good. It's that one hill. Oh, it's going to throw you. I'm actually really excited to see that it's testing and everything. It should be open in like a week or two, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. Same with El Toro. I think El Toro will be opening very, very soon, judging off of what I've been told.
Yeah, I've heard it might actually reopen the season, which is just a testament to how much they care about that ride.
What is your bucket list park?
Tokyo Disney Sea.
If we're talking America, Magic Mountain, obviously. If we're talking international, I'm gonna have to say,
like all the Japan parks, like it's
Nagashima and Fujikyu look really, really good.
Fantasialand.
Fantasialand looks amazing. Europa Park looks amazing. Portaventura looks amazing. Energylandia, of course.
Aaron said Europa Park was like amazing themed, but it wasn't nearly as good of a park as like the rides were like anything like spectacular or anything. In terms of America, man, I've been a lot. I sound pompous, but I'm not trying to be. But for me, it's probably like Lagoon, because it's like one of the bigger parks I haven't been to yet. Lagoon and Silverwood.
Yeah. For me, like, what am I at? 225 right now. I think you guys both have significant higher counts than I do, so I still got a lot of places to go to. But in America, Silver Dollar City, Dollywood, those two parks are.
Silver Dollar City is still my favorite.
It's still my favorite park. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, Magic Mountain's obviously up there just for the sheer coasters and thrills. But internationally, Tokyo Disney Sea is definitely up there. Trying to think what would be the best. I think Portaventura World looks really good. Shambhala just looks really interesting. What else is Alton Towers, Europa Park. I'm just trying to. Fantasia Island looks really good as well. I'm just trying to think what park would have the best like ratio between theming, quality, and just overall ride quality as well. Like sort of like the Busch Gardens parks, Dollywood, Silverwood. I mean not Silverwood, Silver Dollar City. Just I think that's really makes a really good bucket list park for me.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Which park do you think has the better top 4? Great Adventure or Hershey? I would say Great Adventure because their top 4 is more variety based with 2 Intimates, an RMC, and a B&M. I agree.
I say now with Jersey Devil.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now with Jersey Devil, definitely.
Though I would have said Hershey.
Yeah. I mean, then again, before Candemonium and before Jersey Devil, I would still take Great Adventure's top 3 over Hershey's top 3.
You don't like Skyrush though, right?
No, I love Skyrush.
Oh, I thought you didn't.
I mean, Fahrenheit's good. Storm Runner's really good.
Yeah. Fahrenheit,
but I would take Nitro and Ka over them.
Yeah,
so.
Fahrenheit's very much a GP magnet though. That's the only thing. Like I think it's good, but it's like not Maverick, even though it looks like Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love Storm Runner though.
Yeah, Storm Runner is really good.
I wish it was like 30 seconds longer.
Now, the question is, each person's probably going to rank. Maybe just do a quick ranking of everybody's top 4 at those parks because I think there could be some differences.
That's true.
I have Great Adventure. I got Toro, Jersey Devil. I have Nitro at number 3 and Ka at number 4. But I think everybody agrees on those 4 coasters for the most part. But just the orders, the discrepancy there. Then Hershey Park, you can really debate on some of them. I have Skyrush at 1, Candemonium at 2, and I have Storm Runner at 3, and I think Fahrenheit. Yeah, I have Fahrenheit at 4.
Yeah, those are my exact top 4s.
Yeah. Bob, do you have any differences?
Say that again.
Do you have any difference?
Order.
I got 1 for Hershey, 1 Skyrush, 2 Candemonium, 3 Storm Runner, 4 Fahrenheit.
I agree.
And then Great Adventure was Toro, Jersey Devil, Nitro Ka.
I agree. Yep.
We have all the same top 4.
Yep.
Oh, here's a question for Lukan. If you could change one thing at Darien Lake, what would it be?
Let me jump in first before you say anything because I Darien Lake is the most potential of any flipping park out there, and they don't use it. They have the campground, they have the amphitheater like arena thing.
We have a freaking hotel for crying out loud.
Giant, like lots of area. They have two lakes, right? It's 2 separate lakes, isn't it?
I think there's more than 2 lakes.
Like they have so much potential and they don't use it, and it drives me crazy. So I can't pick one thing. I would just say if I could change one thing about it, give somebody else like the contract to run it instead of Six Flags.
Yeah, I think one issue with Darien Lake that a lot of people talk about is they use their land horribly. Like the way they removed the log flume for Tantrum. I think Bob, did you go to Darien Lake before Tantrum?
I was there a few years before that, but then the last time I was there was when Tantrum got added.
Yeah, so the log flume do have a massive amount of space. Tantrum took up like half of the footprint of the log flume. So I just don't understand why they choose to only use certain portions of the land. Like I think what else is really dumb about Darien? Like I'm trying to think. I think Moto Coaster is kind of stupid. There's just tons of land back there, and like it just takes up like you couldn't put anything big there now. But there's one thing I had to change. It would definitely be the operations. The one train ops on Ride of Steel is like the most frustrating thing ever. When there's 3 groups ahead of you for Ride of Steel on like a Friday in the summer or something. You wait 20 minutes, and it's so annoying. You can't get a good ride count. You'll get like 3 rides in for the day. And it's just so frustrating. They get 2 trains and everything, and get the dispatches like a relatively acceptable. Like the dispatches aren't terrible. It's like Viper's got pretty good dispatches because usually they get like committed people who just enjoy their job there. But Ride of Steel usually these people that don't care, and they're just and it's a really sensitive ride. So I don't know. You just get the dispatches like to a minute and a half on average, and get 2 trains, and that would probably be what I would wish they could fix.
I got dispatched on Mind Eraser, and the girl dispatching us just said, "I'm sorry, guys," as we were like leaving the station. So,
yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Riley is not so much cooler than me, Bob.
She absolutely is.
And yeah, Bob, why don't you have hair?
Because my grandpa was completely bald, and I also got his height genes. So unfortunately, and I can't afford like hair replacement surgery. So it is what it is.
I don't know what this is reference, unless if you're talking about our home parks. Yes, Bob's home park is Cedar Point. Mine's Great Adventure.
I mean,
Okay,
I think it will be open by 2029. I
Well,
think that's the correct
yeah.
I
statement.
hope it will be.
They better not
I think
RMC it by then.
I think it
but
will open
they
on
won't.
opening day in 2029.
Oh yeah, it will definitely be open by then. Joey, it will make it this season. Don't worry. I know you had to drop it out of your top 3 because you thought it was hurting your feeling. I forget what you said in the group chat, but I know you said something about Toro making you mad. But it's gonna make it this season. Don't worry. What was your absolute best day at a park?
For me, so that first day we were at Silver Dollar City was incredible.
Yeah.
I think. Are you gonna say the day you were at Fiesta Texas with Jeff?
That's up there, but no. So what I would actually say, there's a day at Great Adventure in 2018. I believe it was May or June. I don't remember exactly when. I know Hurricane Harbor was open, and I actually wound up getting a total of 75 rides that day, across, like, including re-rides, obviously. So we were at Great Adventure for opening. I think I got like 25 rides on Toro for the day. I did a bunch of Nitro rides, like 18. And at some point midway through the day, we went to Hurricane Harbor. I rode every slide multiple times. Then we went back to Great Adventure and stayed till closing. That was just unbelievable that day. I don't think
Awesome.
anything will ever become close because it was just so dead. They kept the park open. Everything was open. It was incredible. But that day at Fiesta Texas, where Jeff Siebert kept the park open, kept the fireworks going during a thunderstorm, and with less than 100 people in the park, that was just incredible.
The greatest park executive there is.
Yes.
Definitely. But for me, it's gotta be. Man, I've had a lot of good days at parks. Just I've had like one, like it's been too hot or something. I've just had to leave early or whatnot. But my favorite day at a park is either gonna be my second day at Kings Island this year, or I had one day at Darien Lake in 2019 where I think I snagged 14 rides on Ride of Steel, and that was just unheard of. That never happens. I also snuck into ERT for members, and I wasn't a member, so that was pretty cool as well.
Okay,
what was the most miserable?
Wait. Colin, read the next comment that I put because I'm pretty sure I predicted it.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
For those of you who don't know, during the Lone Star summer trip last year, which included us going from St. Louis all the way down to Fiesta, Texas, in the middle of the trip, we rode over Texas. We had one day, and they changed the hours on us, so it was only open from like 11 to 6, I think. And the rain, the weather that day was showing as rainy, so I was like, oh, that's just great. So I knew going in, La Vibora would be closed because obviously a bobsled coaster can't operate in the rain. I knew Aquaman was going to be closed because it wasn't open yet. But I figured everything else would kind of go fine. We get to the park, and it's pouring. But you go to Great Adventure, and it's pouring, and everything's open. So we were expecting everything to just go fine. So we get through security, get into the park. We were actually in the park like right at opening. They opened it up immediately. So we go right over to New Texas Giant, and we're standing there. I think an hour goes by, and an employee comes out from the queue, like from up the station, and changes the sign to closed for weather, and then just walks away. People were like yelling, screaming, "Oh, what's going on? What's going on?" He just walked away. So we were like, that's just great. So we go and get lunch, and rides don't start opening till like I think 12, sometime between 12 and 1. And keep in mind the park closes at 6, and the park had just opened at 11. So we get there. I think we got on Pandemonium. Then we did everything in Gotham City. Both mine trains were closed. The Kiddie Coaster was closed. Runaway Mountain was closed. Of course, La Vibora was closed. There was a whole bunch of stuff closed. And when we were going for re-rides on New Texas Giant, after getting pretty much every credit we could, they out of nowhere announced that the park was closing at 4. And it was like 3:40. So there was no time to like get another meal. You couldn't do anything. Thankfully, they opened Titan in like the last 20 minutes of the park being open. Otherwise, we would have missed that. But man, that was one bad day.
I mean, if it was just like you got rained out, there's nothing you could do about it. But it was just the fact that all the like shit that crap that went together happened. But for me, I've had crappy days at parks, but I try to just, it is what it is kind of thing. The worst was the last day we were in Florida. We went to Fun Spot.
Oh God.
Bob had COVID and didn't know, and was sweating profusely and didn't feel hot, even though it was like 105 degrees outside. And I was pretty miserable that day, even though it wasn't, I couldn't control it, unfortunately. I mean, you've had, everybody has crappy days at parks. It happens, but my day at Darien Lake was only crappy because like the workers were just like miserable, just jerks all day long. They didn't like bother me about my camera or anything, and the rides were fine. But other than the last time I was there, Lukan, it was the middle of summer 2 years ago, or 2019, and for whatever reason, both Ride of Steel and Predator were closed all day. And I probably wouldn't have rode Predator anyway, but it's like, well, everything else is like one train off, so I probably would have gotten one ride on it just to say I rode it, even though I would have died.
Yeah, they like to pull the staffing card out of the bag. Darien Lake's had staffing issues since like 2013, 2014, probably because one, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. Like people think it's like near like Buffalo Rock or something like that. It's
like
not any.
40,
it's
like an hour.
Any of that. Yeah,
45 minutes. Like
yeah.
you're not. If you're a kid, you're not gonna be getting driven from Buffalo to work at Darien Lake. It's just not plausible. Yeah. And the other, they just like to close. They don't care about what rides they close. They just close certain areas. That's just what they do.
That's exactly what they did. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and. My worst day at a park. I mean, I could list a bunch of Darien. Like my worst day at a park was probably the one the official opening day at Darien Lake this year.
Hold on, Colin. There's an ad playing on my screen.
Oh, there is?
Yes.
Oh, well, I guess we should pause for a second then. I guess some people got ads. That's weird. Yeah, I still don't know how this stuff works on the live streams with ads. So I guess
those are really weird.
Really
I have the choice to skip it now, so I'm going to skip it. But
there you go.
Okay.
I think we're back.
I think we're good now.
That was weird.
Yeah, I could list off Darien Lake. Like, I think there's quite a few days this year I could say Darien Lake was just absolutely a mess. I think a lot of parks were like that in their defense, but Darien Lake was 100% no way prepared. They were just not ready to open a park. It was just a makeshift money grab, and I've never seen Darien Lake so crowded either. I think people realized how bad it was and stopped going to the park later in the year, which I found kind of funny. But but if I had to choose a more like specific day, I'd say the Great Adventure. I think Colin actually went to the park today. It was Great Adventure, August 3rd, 2020. It was right after the tropical storm. I was actually there for a part of 2 different days, and the first day the rides were open for about 2 hours because there's a power outage, and then El Toro was open for about 20 minutes that entire day. Somehow I managed to get like 2 or 3 rides or something. And and then the park, there's another power outage, shut the whole park down. I was ticked off because, we just came up from like, we were down in like near Wildwood and stuff. And we came up for the day just because I wanted to ride El Toro and whatnot. And that happened. The next day I came, it was completely slammed. I don't know how it was that busy on like a freaking Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day it was. And they were like really, their COVID policies were so inconsistent. Some rides they'd be loading like most of the trains, and they load half the train. Like El Toro was like loading like 3/4 of the train, and like I don't think there was any like rules. And then the only silver lining about the day, like the lines were all like 90 minutes. It was just wild, and the guests were horrible, and nobody was following any COVID policies. And then I think the one silver lining was I waited about 45 minutes for El Toro, which was like an estimated 90-minute wait. I was just sitting there. I was just like, okay, I'm at Great Adventure, may as well ride El Toro. And it's like a 90-minute wait, and then I get up there. I was with a couple other enthusiasts, unfortunately not Colin, but we go to the back of the train, and we ride it I think once, and then nobody comes to the back row, and there's a freaking like, all the switchbacks are filled in the one part of it, and like half the switchbacks are filled in like the other part of the queue, and like we just rewrote a couple times, and the ride-up's just like the ride-up just goes, "You're lucky I don't care." It's so funny.
I remember that day. And the only reason I remember that day so vividly is because that's one of the only days I did not post a trip report on Instagram because I was just so furious that day. That was unfortunately one of the worst days. But I mean, it's a crowded August day, I think, and
Sweaty, everybody had masks on. It was like 90 degrees
you
out.
had the New York City and Philadelphia crowd,
Oh
which
my
if you
God.
live around here, you know how bad that could be. So, oh well, I guess.
Yeah, I actually saw you and your dad, Colin, walking up the flash pass queue for El Toro.
That's right. I remember that. That was
I
like the
wasn't,
only
yeah,
thing
I
that
was in
salvaged the
line,
day.
but I was like around a bunch of other people. I didn't want to like yell. First of all, the chances of you actually hearing me with all the freaking noise probably you wouldn't really hear me. And second of all, I didn't want to look like a complete like wacko.
Mm-hmm. What, Bob? Was that you? It sounds like you just like hit a tambourine or something.
No, I moved a clipboard, but I didn't touch it.
Okay then. Next question. I feel like Fahrenheit and Jersey Devil serve the same purposes almost. I see what you mean by
UV magnet, like
Jersey Devil. Something I've noticed is that even on like the most crowded day, we'll never get a line more than like 40 minutes, even though it's new for 2021. And I think the reason why that is just because it's set so far back from the pathway that no one can really see it. If it was more like Fahrenheit where it was right on the midway, which I would prefer it's not, but if it was like that, I'm sure it would get way longer waits.
I think a lot of it just how good the capacity is. Like you wouldn't think it's that good, but you know the crew. I mean, they're good. They're harsh, but they're good. They'll make sure everybody's moving really fast. You will get screamed at if you don't do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
It's kind of funny, but at the same time, when it's you feel like crap.
Barludge as well. A few other people who I know work on there. They do a real good job of pumping those trains out over there.
It's pretty cool.
I got airtime on Harley Quinn Crazy Train. Okay then. Oh, that's Bob's response to my dad. What's your favorite holiday event, Fright Fest or Holiday in the Park? I think we got a question similar last week, but we do have some new guests, obviously. I would say I prefer Fright Fest to Holiday in the Park slightly. Last year I wouldn't say that, but this year with Unleashed and just how good the mazes and the atmosphere have been at Great Adventure this year for Fright Fest, I'd say so. Now I know you guys didn't go to Great Adventure for Fright Fest or Holiday in the Park, so
yeah, I mean
probably can't answer that. But
I mean, I've been to Fright Fest at Darien.
I was at Fright Fest with you guys last
oh,
year.
that's right, you were at Fright Fest. I forgot about that.
It was cool. I mean,
but it was Hollow Fest, so it was like weird.
Yeah, it wasn't as in depth.
It's still cool though. Let's see. Just a couple of responses there. King Dakar doesn't roll back because of the wind. It rolls back because Colin likes to distract the op. Okay. I don't know what that means, honestly.
I mean, if Colin can cause rollbacks, then I'm definitely gonna be riding when he's like getting off or in line or something.
If I can cause rollbacks, I would have had a rollback already.
Yeah.
I don't have any.
Hello, Coaster Creation TV. What's your favorite Six Flags park besides Gav? Fiesta Texas. It's better than Great Adventure, in my opinion.
For me, it's Magic Mountain, but like Fiesta Texas is right there too.
Yeah, for me, I've been to 5 Six Flags parks. I honestly kind of enjoyed Six Flags America more than Great Adventure. I feel like America was honestly, it just felt cleaner and just like felt like better. Like I know the new park president's done a really good job shaping that place up, and it's been nice. I really like New England. Felt like it had a little bit of charm to it. It didn't feel like full on like just Six Flags. It felt like it had some like. It had some character, which I liked. But outside of Great Adventure, I think I might prefer New England over Great Adventure. It's close, but they're both there. But New England's
playing a Nintendo game or something. What is this like music I keep hearing?
Oh yeah, no, that's just something from YouTube's audio library. I don't even know what it is. It's just some random playlist.
It's like elevator music.
That's interesting. Let's see. What's the next question? Oh, there we go. Bob, no hangover from the wedding.
Good.
Did you get drunk at all?
I mean, I had 3 Long Island iced teas, which were like 5 shots each, and a couple other drinks. But I was feeling good. I wasn't drunk, though. It was good.
Interesting. Bob, did you get an ad on your end?
I did.
Okay.
It's playing right now.
So that's how that works.
Colin's got to pay his bills, guys.
I do. I got to pay for this microphone somehow. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just a crappy
that is a good
headphone
point,
audio.
though.
So it looks like there's a button I press, and when I press it, everyone gets ads. And I actually see that on StreamYard because the viewers drop like immediately. So I guess that explains that. I'll give everyone a couple seconds and resume. Was it a skippable or non-skippable one, Bob?
I was able to skip it.
Okay. All right. I think we probably should be good by now. What would your reaction be if DC fandom came to Great Adventure instead of online? What do you mean? I'm not sure I know what you mean. I mean, there was a comic fest at Great Adventure on the weekend of Throllathon, but I don't think that's what you mean. Send another message, and I'll get back to it once we get down there. Hello, Chaz. Bob Collin, if you could change one thing at your home park, what would it be? Okay, so
Well, the easy one would
question.
be
Yes, Lukan.
The easy one would be get rid of Tony Clark, but no, I actually get along with Tony for the most part. But I mean, for me, it's something I think is going to happen eventually anyway, and I think that's going to be that they're going to build out into the parking lot and take the parking off site and boat people in or monorail or something.
Yeah.
But I it's such a hefty investment that I can't see them doing it like all at once. So. I think it will happen eventually because they're going to run out of land and they're not going to want to. There's stuff they're not going to touch in the park. They're not going to touch Gemini. They're not going to touch Blue Streak to open up land. So at some point they're going to have to do something. And I feel like within about 10 years that's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, you know, if they move parking outside, I think that would just support Cedar Point just being the park to get you. Like just imagine like it's your first time at Cedar Point. You park offsite or whatever, and then you take like a monorail or just some sort of like cool method of transportation, and you just like ship to the park. I think the one thing with that, they probably have to leave some of the parking lot around just for like hotel breakers and just the infrastructure.
Oh yeah. No, the back would stay. I would assume the back would stay. The other thing, the other caveat to that though could be if they buy up because they're buying parcels of land very slowly along Cleveland Road and trying to get land. You know. The other thing they could do if they really wanted to spend money is they could build a new water park off-site and then expand to the current water park. But I don't think they'll do that because they want the hotel breakers guests to be able to go to the water park and they want people to be able to walk over to the water park and stuff. So I don't see that happening, but something's going to happen at some point.
So as for Great Adventure, it's tough because there's a lot of stuff I know about that's happening and obviously plenty of stuff I don't know. A new entrance is coming, so that's like top of the list. So new entrance for sure. I definitely think it would be really cool to see areas like Golden Kingdom and Plaza del Carnaval like revamped back to their former glory. Like Balin's Jungle Land, it was like the big kiddie area between Golden Kingdom and Plaza del Carnaval. When you're actually going through the Fright Fest maze, Bloodshed, which they have there now, you're walking on top of what used to be Balin's Jungle Land, which is crazy. But I would love to see stuff like that come back. I definitely think John Winkler and the rest of the team are working towards making the park better and better, and I see it already with the revamps of Main Street and all the stores there. It's looking great, and I can't wait to see what they wind up having in store for 2024, which is the 50th anniversary.
Ground up RMC.
Yeah, Six Flags is
incredible.
Yeah, Six Flags is slowly starting to up, like just like overall quality. Like they're starting to look a little more similar, like Cedar Fair, like. You know, they're not just putting down black top left and right. They're they're putting down like nice, like just aesthetically pleasing, just areas of parks.
So that would actually be the perfect time to introduce something I've been waiting to introduce for a little while now. And basically, I want to give you guys a couple teasers of videos that are coming out very, very soon. So let me share my screen real quick. And this actually ties in with this really well. Bam.
Close any tabs you don't want people to see.
No, that's it. So, actually, let me get rid of my dad's message here. There we go. So, I mean, this thumbnail kind of says it all. The video, which should be coming out sometime this week, is about why Six Flags is becoming better than Cedar Fair. And that's definitely a reason why. The park's qualities are increasing. And looking at the two chains from 2020 and 2021 compared to how they used to be, I definitely think Six Flags is starting to get an edge over Cedar Fair, if you ask me. I'll go a little more in depth in the video, of course.
I think the like thing that they're not remedying yet is like the whole idea of like the way the tickets are structured and the memberships are structured is so convoluted and crazy that like the average person cannot understand it at all.
Oh yeah.
That is true.
It's insanity.
I can barely understand it myself.
Yeah.
All right, let me get rid of this now. Do this. Do this.
Before you put up the next thing, it's kind of ironic because I actually have a video coming out of kind of like not comparing Cedar Fair and Six Flags, but like talking about just what Six Flags is doing and where they're headed. So yeah, it's gonna come out tomorrow, and it's the thumbnail is actually kind of funny. It's like Mike Spanos with like those like cool meme glasses.
I sincerely hope that every point Colin makes in that video is the exact same point you make in your video that you're releasing tomorrow.
Why's that happen? Let's see. What is the next question? I think it's this. What popular ride do you really not like?
The Voyage.
Bob? Yeah, Voyage for me.
I think it's so overrated. It's not that I hate it. I just think it's so overrated. It's ridiculous.
See, like I wrote it in 2019, right?
And if Matt Whaley's not here, Chaz, go tell him that we both don't like The Voyage.
Just to be a little different too, I'll add Phantom in here because Phantom's a ride that didn't impress me that much. But I'll focus on the Voyage because that's the worst offender there. Voyage, it's all floater airtime. It's all weak airtime. It has a great layout for how long it is and how crazy that it lasts so long. It's just, I don't know, man. The mid-course kills it. The first half isn't even that good. It's just floater airtime. Nothing too special about Voyage for me.
Yeah, what's hilarious is I was looking at Gravity Group, and I just rode Wooden Warrior recently, and I was like, that thing is amazing. Like there's a ejector on Wooden Warrior, and it's from Gravity. Yeah,
yeah.
You look at the big.
Well, it's because we had the same reaction to Oscar's Wacky Taxi. We were like,
I think the smaller Gravity Groups are better than the bigger ones.
Yeah, I agree as well. And the funniest part is the big Gravity Group I did was Ravine Flyer 2, and I like Ravine Flyer 2. Don't get me wrong, but it was like I can't remember getting that much airtime. I remember getting a good amount of floater. I don't know. I just think people I think when you get room, like those have that coaster has the PTCs. I know Voyage has as well. I think the PTCs. I don't know. I just don't know how well they run on those, and I think getting stapled really if you get jackhammered like at all on those rides, it's like floater airtime gets totally ruined when you're stapled. Like you can't appreciate it if you're stapled. And then, but I think what do they call it? Which trains are the Gravity Group trains that are
Timberliners?
Timberliners. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The Timberliners, I think they're really good. Mind Blower's small as well, but it's still got that really powerful ejector.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, yes, but you're also going to have a monster concussion when you're done.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I'm just in terms of like airtime and strength.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is the next question? There we go. What is a stereotype about a ride that you don't think is true? That's actually a really interesting question.
For me, the one was that Viper at Magic Mountain was like super rough, and then I rode it, and it's absolutely amazing. And I'm not a big fan of like aero loopers at all, other than Tennessee Tornado, and like it's really, really good.
That'd be a funny video, like roller coaster stereotypes.
That is maybe it's a good collab idea. I actually didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. Like, everybody just assumes B&M hypers are all the same, but I don't think they're all the same.
No, they all feel so different.
Yeah, especially new to old. Like you compare Apollo to like, I don't know, Canonium. Like it's just
totally different rides.
And then like the Diamondbacks of the world are like different from either of those. They're like, it's crazy.
I can't really think. I mean, this is very tough to answer. See,
it's one of those ones that's like
I agree with.
It's one of those ones like, all stand-up coasters are crap. Well, no.
Oh yeah, that I don't agree with at all.
I don't like stand-ups, but I don't think they're all crap either.
I think Green Lantern obviously is a great ride, and
I think the layout's great.
Yeah, the layout is just incredible on that ride. I enjoyed Apocalypse. I like it better than Firebird, and Vortex was just okay at Carowinds. I guess that's like the only one I can really think about. I actually enjoy stand-up coasters.
I liked Scorcher. I don't like Green Lantern. I didn't really like Riddler, although Riddler as a like floorless or a sit-down coaster would be amazing. The layout's awesome. It was just way too intense for a stand-up coaster. That was like crazy intense, which is I like intensity, but it was too intense when the taint tickler is destroying your underside. It'd be interesting to ride some of like the older stand-ups that are gone now, like King Cobra and stuff. Like that would have been interesting.
This is a good question. What park has the best entrance experience, parking, security, setting, etc.? So, I definitely think Six Flags parks and Cedar Fair parks with the new metal detectors immediately steal the security category. That beats any other security type. I mean, literally, you just walk through. You don't stop. You don't do anything. You just walk through. But parking, that's tough too. I think Universal's setup is really good. It's just
even like Cedar Point's is really good because like
obviously we've never parked at Cedar Point, so I wouldn't know.
Like it's now that they have the the huge front entry or the huge parking structure to get through now, because before it was like 4 lanes, now it's like 10, 12, whatever. It makes it really easy to get through. But I think the thing about it is like, so you get through really easy, you park, you see the whole skyline, so you get that experience right away too. As you're driving across, you see it. As you pull up, you see it and everything. Go right through security, like you said. It's really easy to go through the security there, and then you go right through the front gate. You're right under gatekeeper, and you're in the park. So that's a good one. Yeah, Universal definitely was awesome. I don't like the Busch Gardens parks because they having to take the tram if you don't park preferred and all that crap. SeaWorld was just stupid the way it's set up. It was easy, but whatever. Fiesta Texas is very much like a Kings Island or a Cedar Point. Like you walk right up to the gate, put your shit on the did they do the bag scanners at Fiesta Texas when you were there, or did they just do manual checking?
Well, we didn't have any bags. I think you just walked right through.
I just wondered because they had the bag scanners when I was there in 2018 or whatever it was.
Yeah, for me, entrance experience, I think Kings Island has to take it. I technically never actually Canada's Wonderland is really similar as well, but I'm guessing like Carowinds and all the other Paramount parks are similar to how
they're very very similar.
Yeah, and I think the infrastructure is what really makes it. The thing with Kings Island is just I technically never I never went through the parking booths when I went there because I got dropped off because I was with my family and they didn't want to be in the park the whole time with me. But getting out of that park is so easy. The park was absolutely slammed the one day I was there, and there's so many exits just to get out. It's really easy. You never get Great Adventure. I was there for a fireworks day, and it took 2 hours to leave the park.
That's Cedar Point during Halloween weekends and 4th of July.
Yeah, and then I think Kings Island, the entrance is kind of ugly, but everything else is presented really nice. And once you walk in, that's just the Eiffel Tower. I think everything's set out there.
I think one of the ones that we're not talking about that it's not so much the parking, I guess, but just the way it's set up is both Silver Dollar City, because you don't see anything of the park at all. You're
really immersive.
And as soon as you walk in, you're like, holy crap, what the heck? Same thing happened, and this is a weird one, but same thing happened with Dutch Wonderland. You see this big castle out front. You don't see anything really behind it, except for here and there you see little things. And then you go through it, you're like, well, I'm in the park. Whoa, what was that kind of thing? So also very cool.
Yeah, those immersive kind of entrances I think they're cool, but I think they both have the immersive ones versus ones where Cedar Point you can see, for 5-10 minutes before you pull up to the park. So I think they both they both can work.
All right, next question. Okay.
Just a couple times.
Okay. So yeah, but we'll just skip past those ones. I think the answer to all of those is pretty obvious. What I meant to say is if DC only Comic-Con event at Great Adventure. So you're saying basically the Comic Fest that was there on the weekend of Thrillathon, but just DC Comics. And I think that'd be pretty cool. There you go, Bob.
That's why I have no problem with harassing Matt about his terrible opinions.
What was your worst stapling experience?
I got absolutely circumcised on Storm Chaser the last time I was at Kentucky Kingdom by this girl that might as well have jumped on the lap bar. It was ridiculous. And then she's like, "Oh my God, did I hurt you?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "Sorry," and she didn't even undo it. And I'm like, "All right, fantastic."
I have a couple in mind. So
Oh, Time Traveler.
yes, Time Traveler is one of them. So I don't know if everyone's heard this story.
I remember hearing about this one.
is so
I don't know where, but I heard about it.
So I'm sitting on Time Traveler. Well, I'm getting on Time Traveler. I think Bob and I were in the front row, right?
Yeah, we're-
And, we're going up. So I go and sit down. And if you don't know how Time Traveler's restraint system works, there's a button on the side of the car which pulls the restraints down once, and then they press it again and pull it down like really hard out of nowhere, and then it just stops. So I obviously was leaning forward a little bit to get myself some room because Time Traveler has some pretty good airtime. So, I'm still leaning forward a little bit. This lady comes over, press the button, sit all the way back.
Yeah.
I'm all the way back. And then I actually scooted back. And she's like, you're not all the way back. Sit all the way back. Like, I'm all the way back. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, Granny Bitch Tits did not like Colin
No.
talking shit in the actor. So then, as we're pulling out of station, he's like, what a bitch. And she heard him.
Because, the car started turning her direction as I said that. It's like, you have got to be kidding me.
And then we rolled back to the station, and she
right
kept him in his seat so she could lecture him about being disrespectful.
I was like, you have got to be kidding me. But that was funny, though.
It was funny.
There's been a few times on Nitro where this one lady, who I will not say her name, has absolutely jumped on my restraint. And at one point, I think it was like 2017, 2018, it was all the way down at the lowest click. And it was literally starting to cut off circulation. So I was like screaming, like literally screaming. So they had to pause. They wouldn't let us out, obviously. So they had to release the restraint a little bit. But that was really bad there.
Mm-hmm. I've had some bad Ride of Steel experiences. Like there's an issue where like have you seen like El Toro Ryan's like problematic coaster thing on an El Toro in the prefabricated wooden coasters? He talked about how like it's really fun to try to guess who's like keeping the train from dispatching. So like what they'll do is they'll go after checking it. They'll either release restraints and then they'll come around, just start slamming it down, and they'll just keep pushing until it gives them the green light, and then it's just that seems to happen a lot. Ride of Steel is really sensitive because of the guy who fell out when there probably wasn't a verify set. But yeah, I don't know. I've had quite a few bad stapling experiences, but I don't know. They all. I've never had one that like stands out like like the one Colin mentioned.
Yes, Kenny, we all have. Let's see. I'm going to skip that one and that one. What's your favorite Pinfari steel coaster? Well, I can tell you for sure that it's not Looping Star at Keensburg. That thing is brutal.
I mean, I've only literally been on the one at
Maury's,
right?
Yeah, I guess Roller's Coaster by default is the best.
It was fine, like except for there was that one spot.
Yes, the one transition,
and like just really destroyed you. Other than that, the rest of it was fine. It was just
the one at Maury's is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I went on one at the fair like a couple of weeks ago at New York State Fair.
Wow, you don't value your life at all, do you?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually thought there's a couple of rides at the fair I legitimately thought I could die on. The one UFO ride, the dude operating it looked like totally uninterested. He just looked around, and then like we get into it, and I noticed the seats start to roll back. Like I'm not sure if that's UFO rides because I can't remember. I couldn't remember last time I rode one of those. But like I was about thinking the thing was gonna fall apart. I was gonna freaking smash my head into the ceiling, but thankfully I didn't and survived.
That's why I will never ride, or at least I don't plan on riding coasters at fairs. They're so sketchy. Like even Steel Pier was sketchy. I mean, I know Bob probably remembers when we were at Steel Pier at Crazy Mouse, and the guy had to like step onto the like under and like reset it. I saw them doing the same thing at Fun Spot Kissimmee though, which I thought was really weird too. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's just the same. It's just with the. I think is it a Reverchon?
Yeah, maybe.
If it's a Reverchon, that makes sense.
You guys want to hear my quick Steel Pier story?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So the day I was at Great Adventure, the day before the day Colin was there, the park was shut down. So wait, no, I'm sorry. That was the day before I went to Great Adventure for the first time on that trip, and it was day of like whatever the tropical storm was, and everything was like shut down during the day. So we head over. It cleared out, and we head over to like Atlantic City at like 3 p.m. or whatever it was, and we go to the boardwalk. And, you know, Steel Pier actually looks kind of cool, like, aesthetically. and stuff. Like when you're walking up I think it looks kind of cool on these really over the water. But so we were there and like nothing. It was just closed. They didn't say they were closing. It was just closed. It didn't say it was closing on the website. And we were just sitting there for like an hour. And there's all this like there's just so much like I'll just say sketchy activity happening at the boardwalk, and I'm like. I'm really gonna. We're not. My dad was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna be waiting around for this stupid park to open up." And they like, I commented on their Instagram, like, "Are you guys gonna be opening?" And they responded like way after I left the park. They're like, "Yeah, we're opening at 7." And I'm like, so I've been to Steel Pier, but I've not been to Steel Pier.
That is typical Atlantic City. Atlantic City is not a fun place.
It was like jam packed when we were there too.
Ugh, yeah.
Then we tried to go to the Hard Rock, and that was a disaster.
God. A 90-minute wait
with like 50 open tables everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Typical. No. Favorite theme park pin you have?
I have so many.
So we have basically every member event pin from Great Adventure, and a lot of those are really good. Definitely have a couple really good Jersey Devil ones. Couple really good Great Adventure ones. I like the Great Adventure one with the original like 1980s logo with the rainbow. That one's really cool. Man, I think there's a couple of really cool ones not from Great Adventure. I can't think of them at the moment because I don't have the pin board in front of me, but there's a couple really cool ones.
I have like 1.5 bulletin boards filled up with pins at this point, and I have a lot of older ones too that I got just like buying them on like eBay and stuff. But the ones I think is my favorite are the one of Flight Deck with at Canada's Wonderland with the giant cobra roll, and with Behemoth with the top hat.
I don't have any pins.
What do you collect then from parks?
I guess I could collect maps. Like I have this whole stash of maps.
I collect maps too. Yeah. I also collect COVID apparently.
Oh yeah, there you go. Kennywood. I got a bunch of Darien Lake stuff.
I mean, I think from my camera you can see that there's a lot of maps up around here. Like too many.
Oh, actually, I do have these Cedar Point pins.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know. Isn't it Texas Coasters has like a collection of every single Cedar Point button?
That's a lot. That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's this 2020 collector's edition. Yeah, that didn't really happen.
Most scared you have been on a Halloween trail at a theme park. So I can't say like one in particular, but when I was younger, Fright Fest scared the crap out of me. I remember specifically back in like 2012, 2013, there used to be a Fright Fest maze that went either through or around Chiller's Queue a couple years after it closed, which was crazy just thinking back to it. I think it was called the Asylum. I think that sounds right. Obviously named after Arkham Asylum, but that's just totally scared me. I remember being so afraid of Fright Fest when I was little.
I got nothing.
For me, I've done, like I said, I've done like 4 things. There's the one at Darien Lake. It's sort of like in the queue for Viper, and it's actually pretty cool. They were like all the scare actors were like, watch out for Gus, and like you hear like chainsaws and stuff. There's just a dude in like a mob costume with a chainsaw. So I guess that that freaked me out a little bit, but I don't know, I wasn't really that scared.
Next question: why aren't you answering my good questions? Because they've. I don't want to waste my energy. They can't be answered. Let's put it that way. What is your favorite roller coaster in the world? Steel Vengeance.
Velocicoaster.
Steel Engines.
Colin, you look just like your dad.
His dad doesn't look like a 5'3" little Jewish guy.
No, I'm not 5'3" for starters, and I don't look like that. Favorite souvenir / prize / memorabilia from a park.
I have my Media Day lanyard from Steel Vengeance Media Day, signed by Fred Grubb and Alan Schilke.
Well, I have a couple of cool things sitting right next to me right now.
I would have said that the giant.
This was given to me by Bob, I think.
I was, yeah. I would have said the giant wood cutout of Talon, but they didn't.
That was great.
They didn't let us steal that off the wall.
You know, give me 2 seconds. I have a couple things I can go grab real quick.
All right. Well, while Colin's gone, let's talk about how much we hate Colin.
Yeah. Everybody put all your least favorite things about Colin.
Yeah. His channel sucks. Make sure you leave nasty comments on all his videos.
Yeah, dislike them all.
Okay, I'm back. So, there's this. Now, you might not know what this is. This was given to me by Josh from Theme Park Compass and Tri-State Coasters. This is actually from, I forget exactly what the term is, but it's either on Wildebeest or Mammoth at Splash and Safari and Holiday World. This is a part of the conveyor belt, I'm pretty sure.
That's
so
cool.
you can kind of see the shaping of it. Unfortunately, I don't have my prize winnings from Thrillathon with me right now, but if you don't know, I won, well, my dad and I won a piece of Toro track and a piece of Ka cable. And at Dorney Park's Coaster Madness in 2019, we won a massive Hydra poster. But there's this. Let me hold it a little closer.
Is that a Harry Potter one?
No, it's a bolt. See? This is a part of our big collection over there of Toro bolts we found over the years. And this is, I'm pretty sure it's the biggest one of them all. Yeah, there it is. I have a couple other things around, but they're not really too significant.
Yeah, I have to get up if I want to show anything of mine. So hold on, we're gonna set this to the side. And hope I don't like collapse everything.
All right, now let's talk. Whatever.
I'm literally just going 2 feet away to grab this thing. I want to. Oh shit! This is.
Bob sucks at taking photos.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, it's a work in progress. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna grab the. There's a couple things, but I'm gonna grab the one for sure. Hold on. Don't fall, Jesus.
Everyone, go unfollow BkPhotoPage on Instagram. He takes horrible pictures.
Block him, report him.
Yeah, report him for scamming because he.
Anybody who's seen him at Six Flags over Georgia, please report him to the police because that's illegal activity with cameras.
Yeah, he cannot have his cameras on property, otherwise he'll get kicked out.
Police will be contacted.
I don't collect as much stuff as you guys do for sure. Like I give a lot of stuff to my friends that I collect, like stuff at events and things. I'm not a big collector, but there's a couple things I do have. So this is the Steel Vengeance lanyard signed by Fred and Alan.
That's cool.
Yeah. From Media
highlight
Day.
Bob if I can. Let's see.
There we go. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So
Bob can.
Yeah. So nice. Both of them the nicest guys on earth. They really were. Just sat there and talked to us. Fred's like an old hillbilly guy. And then they also, and you guys have probably seen these, and they gave these away to us at the end of Media Day, and then they gave them away again at the first Rider event, which I also was at. This is the. We did not know we were getting this either. So this is the they wrapped it in a red like
yes, that
hillbilly bandana. But yeah, so this is cool. It's a piece of the wood from Main Street. So with the Steel Vengeance plate on it.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was always one of the things I really liked. That was really cool.
I did forget to mention our pieces of Rolling Thunder track. That I did forget to mention.
Oh my dog's going bonkers for some reason. Somebody must not be walking by. This is barking anything. Try to start ripping it. And then what's the other thing I grabbed? Oh, so I won the very first year I went to Coaster Stock in 2017. I won the photo contest, and I had no expectation of winning. I didn't even think I'd be one of the finalists, and I ended up winning. And it was first off, it was kind of like a validation for me that like I was good at photography because I really didn't know anything yet. I really wasn't into it that much yet. But so what I did was they gave me one of the things in the prize pack was a piece of wood from Mystic Timbers Construction, and I took it to work and I used one of the laser burners to burn the logo into it, but I didn't like the way it looked because it came out it wouldn't do the gradients and stuff for the colors. So I was trying to figure out what to do with it. And I asked the art teacher at school, I was like, do you have any students that can paint this for me with this logo? And she's like, let me ask around. So I know, like the next day, she's like, yeah, I got one of my girls. I was like, who is it? And she told me the girl's name. I was like, oh, she's one of my students too. So she ended up painting it for me. It took her a while to get it done because she had other stuff to do, but this is how it came out when she did it.
Wow. Woo! That is nice.
Yeah, so she did a really, really good job on it.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then I did burn coaster stock into the back of it.
Like, that's cool.
From that date, so that was cool. Yeah. So yeah, I have a lot of like stuff like that. I keep stuff that I like care about, like other stuff. Like I gave you a bunch of stuff. I was like all extra stuff that was just laying around. I wasn't gonna do anything with. It's like I'm not gonna probably display half the stuff I have anyway at any point. So it's like, what am I doing sitting on it? I'm not gonna sell it, so it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not a huge collector and stuff, but I did do. My mom did get this. She won this teddy bear at Kings Island. Like, you know those ring toss games that you never win. Well, she somehow managed to win it, and we had this bear. It was so funny. It was like sort of a family trip to Ohio. So we had this bear. So we had to get from Kings Island to Cedar Point.
Was it one of those like 6 foot tall ones?
Yeah. And it was stuffed. Like we were thinking about just leaving at the hotel, but it was stuffed in the back seat. It was just about to. It was just sitting there. We couldn't even see each other in the car because how big it was. And then we rode with it from Kings Island to Cedar Point, and Kings Island all the way home, which is like 5 hours. I mean, not Cedar Point all the way home, which is like 5 hours. So it was really funny. But that's probably one of my favorite things from a theme park. But
somebody won one of those at Hollywood Nights a few years ago, and had like a tiny little car. And the park, the park literally tweeted, "Hey, does anybody have a pickup truck that's going back to Louisville that can take this for him?" And somebody did. Back a pickup truck and drove back to Louisville for him.
The one cool thing that's not actually from a park, it's a roller coaster thing, but here, I'll grab it. It's a little it's like a design of like Phoenix and like a blueprint kind of design.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, some lady who lives like 10. You can't really like see it, but some lady who lives like 10 or 15 minutes away from like my house makes these, and I got one for like Christmas, so it's really cool.
It is cool, huh?
Yeah, especially with Phoenix and how I got like relocated, and I think it's pretty cool.
Next question, Colin. Thursday night Wicked Woods didn't get you scared. That was probably the best jump scare I had at all Fright Fest, and it was from you, not even one of the scare actors. So in Wicked Woods, there's this one Bigfoot room where there's like lasers and gas or fog projected, and typically they have scare actors hiding underneath it, and they jump out. It's really hard to explain, but it's so cool. And obviously they were pretty understaffed. So Brian decided he would go a little further ahead and jump out at me. He got me pretty good. How tall are you? I'm 5'5", not 5'3", Bob. And I guess that ends all the questions. I mean, there's nothing else in the chat. So, I can't think of anything else to talk about unless you guys have anything else you want to say.
Not really.
All right. Well, I guess I
hate the fact we're rapidly approaching the off season soon.
Yes, that is so unfortunate. It's worse for you in Ohio because everything closes earlier. Like Great Adventure closes late and opens late. Oh, wait, we got a super chat. Can't miss the super chat. Hold on. There we go. Do you think Nintendo will take down the MCU? I don't know if they can really compete. I don't think they can really compete at all.
Movies based off video games tend to not do very well as a general statement.
Wait, well, I know Bob was talking about the off season, but you're sympathizing with him. Think about me. I get like a 5-month season.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I have May to I had Darien like looking for previews May 15th, I think, and it's closing like October 31st.
Wow. There's no holiday in the park at Darien Lake?
No, it's too. We freaking get snowed in. I mean, we've gotten less snow our last few years, so I honestly, I actually they're doing like a drive-in thing this year.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. I probably won't go to that, but
let's see. And the final thing, show them the B&M track. Okay, Dad.
Is this
Here is the B&M track. So my dad actually did a really good prank on me. I'm pretty sure it's still on this channel.
I remember.
For my birthday in 2019, he made this piece of B&M track, and it's actually like really, really well done, all things considered. He made this, and the way he did it is he made it out like Claremont sent this to me, and the letter was written all like officially. The packaging was all done officially as if it came from Ohio. Like everything was done perfectly, and in the letter they sent me, it said from Dean Vader. And when you translate Dean Vader from German to English, it means your father. And that's how I figured it out. So this was given to me by him, and a cool part about this is that Claremont saw the video and sent me a Claremont hat. Let me go grab it real quick, if I still have it.
And neither of us are on the screen. And there's ads up. I'm getting an ad right now, Colin.
There it is.
You can't hear me.
Okay, I did find it. I don't think I have it on
I'm
right.
getting an ad right now.
Oh, you're getting an ad?
Yeah.
Well, here it is. CSF, Claremont Steel Fabricators. This is what they sent me. So, pretty cool if I do say so myself.
Because you wear hats so often.
Oh, yeah, I wear hats all the time. But otherwise, I'm going to guess that's the end of the stream. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the stream. Thank you, Bob and Lukan, for being here on the stream.
Absolutely.
It was definitely a lot of fun, as is usual. And good night, everyone.
That's it.
Thanks for having us.